I don't know how to start.
Hello, everybody.
Everybody.
No, but do you know what? See, when I sing my words, it makes me think of like the Tidy Up songs.
Yeah, they do. No. Oh, do you remember? I hated having to play like High School. I loved playing at your house, obviously, but I hated having to play High School Musical at your house because you made me be Sharpay. Because you're like, no, it's my house. I'm Sharpay.
So I was Sharpay, or you were Sharpay?
You were like, it's my house. I'm Gabriella.
I know, and like
you
that's
had the Gabriella
the thing.
dress, and you had the blue Sharpay dress as well.
I don't know why I was always so set on being like, is it protagonist or antagonist? Who's the good one?
Protagonist.
When I grow up and I'm like, I'm definitely more Sharpay.
100%, Erin. You know the character who called in blue? What was it, Chad? And he was
I don't know.
His best friend.
Yeah.
I loved him. And who was his girlfriend? What's her name?
Oh my god. It's not Monica.
Who the fuck is named Monica in High School Musical?
No, stop. I need to Google this. Gabriella. You don't.
Oh, honestly, like, Granny was on at me about it.
High School Musical best friend of Gabriella.
Monique!
No.
Is it Monique? Am I right?
we were so off. It's Taylor. I don't remember it being Taylor.
Who the fuck is Monique in High School Musical then?
Is Monique like the one that goes, I like to pop and lock and jam a break? Do you remember her? Do you know when they're singing, no, no, no? Like, no. They're singing as if they're doing pure unhinged stuff, and this guy's like, I like to bake. And they're like, no!
Stay to the status quo.
Yes!
Yeah.
Is it that girl? Someone's definitely called Monique.
I swear, right, Monique High School. Maybe her real name is Monique. Oh, yeah, her real name is Monique Coleman.
That's it. Well, you can see where I was coming from with the Monica then.
Yeah, 100%.
But anyway, that's what singing my words makes me think of, the Tidy Up songs, because for some reason, that's the only thing that could get you through it.
I sing all the time. Do you know what the trainee in work said to me the other day? And it was like 2 weeks ago. Because I just sing everything. And, like, I could literally be like, where are my weather boots? And she'll just be like, she's from Birmingham, she's so lovely. And she was like, I was like, God, you must think I'm actually nuts, like, just pure singing all the time. And she was like, I like when you sing, it really brightens up my day.
That was not Birmingham at all, that was like Leeds.
Yeah, right enough, okay. Water, would you like some water, Pets? Would you like some water?
I'm watching Peaky Blinders at the minute, and you're definitely not speaking in a Birmingham accent.
I'm so jealous you get to do Peaky Blinders from the start.
Do you know how many people have said this to me? Like, you don't even realise, because it's been out for so many years, I am so late to the party.
I would kill...
And everyone's like, I can't believe that you are getting to see this for the first time. You don't know what happens. And I'm like, yes, if everyone could shut up. Like, everyone's trying to give me spoilers. And I'm like, why would you do that?
I haven't finished the last season, so let me know when you're on the last season and I'll watch it with you.
We're going on to season 5, and I think there's 6.
Yeah, there's 6. Oh, God, you're right. Okay, you're, like, well in there.
Yeah. But, like, I find that we watch it at night, and then I have pure weird dreams. So some nights we have to... No, like, violent dreams.
Oh.
Because of all the gore. I mean, he is stunning in it. But, like, violent dreams. So some nights I'm like, I have to put on, like, something lighthearted, like Superstore, so I can process.
Have you seen the bit where Mateo in Superstore...
Superstore is so good.
It's so good. Mum is obsessed with it. She's obsessed with Mateo, and I was like, absolutely. But it's his reactions. I think they're very, like, our reactions. You know, he's the one that catches the people saying all the stupid shit.
Yeah.
But you see the bit in Superstore where he finally goes up to flirt with this man on St. Patrick's Day. The St. Patrick's Day sign falls on.
I've seen it before, so I'm re-watching it now because it's been a couple of years, but I do remember that happening.
I could see that in the most out of context like clip on Facebook or something, and I still will have to stop to it myself. But it always reminds me of, you know, in Dodgeball when the coach gets crushed by the Lucky Charms sign,
and he full on dies.
Yeah, it's just it really says
I think the funniest person, and she doesn't even mean to be, she just says those unhinged things, is Dina.
Which one's Dina?
Dina's the assistant manager.
Yeah, have you seen her now in real life? She's lost so much weight in real life, isn't she?
No, I haven't. I usually
she's
always
also an incredible singer.
Is she?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think she's hilarious.
She's brilliant. And her birds.
Yeah.
I think Glenn is brilliant as well.
One of her birds died, and then it had some like human name. Let's say the name was Tom, right? It definitely wasn't. But then Jonah says, "Oh, is it that guy Tom from like someone they work with?" And she was like, "No, I wish it was him that died." She's just so unhinged, and like she says the most out of pocket things, and I love it so much.
I can't speak. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ooh, she's raspy today.
You don't sound as bad as I thought you would, to be fair.
That's good. I'm glad, because oh my god, my legs are numb.
I've been ill as well.
I'm not ill. This is literally the effects of hay fever and fake fog in work. They say, we call it atmos, and they say it's non-toxic. But you're like pure, if you're out in it all week, you're like full on blowing black bogies for about 3 years. It's nuts. It's meant to be non-toxic, but it just burns through. Also can be the hay fever as well, like mad hay fever.
I like, obviously my brother's hay fever, didn't he? But like, so
do you not get hay fever?
No. We need a code name.
Erin, are you telling me you're one of God's favourite?
Yeah, so obviously Thingy has it. And I just take for granted every day, like when he's like really suffering with his eyes and can't breathe, I'm like, you're being so dramatic right now. But then, I actually get it now. Like, I am like, I really take for granted not having it and just being normal and being able to just like not be affected by it. Because he's like, if I literally don't wake up and take antihistamines straight away, like I will literally, I can't breathe. And my eyes are literally like scratchy all day. And I'm like, I really take that for granted, just not having it. Because it's just not a thought when you don't have it. But then you see people that do, and he suffers really bad with it. And I do feel bad now.
Erin, you're literally one of God's favourites. When the rapture comes, you are just going straight into heaven. The rest of us, me and your brother, were fighting for our lives down here.
It is bad. Like, literally everyone, most people I know have it.
I near crashed my car because I had to close one eye to itch it, but the other eye got really, like, watery. Because it was nuts. I'm actually so jealous of you. I'm not your friend for, like, the next 10 minutes till I get over this. I did not know you did not get hay fever. So all those times when I was lying beside you and staying over at your house dying, like, pure not being able to breathe at all because I was allergic to your cat and all, you thought I was just being dramatic.
I was like that Chloe emoji where she's like...
Stop it.
But I get it now. Like, I think living with someone who suffers really bad with it, I'm like, it's difficult.
Does your boyfriend get it too?
Yeah, really bad, and that's what I mean. Like,
so sorry, only now, instead of growing up in the same house as your brother, for his whole life.
But he didn't get it super bad. It was like every now and then.
Something's in the air at the moment where like Mother Nature really is trying to like kill us off because of how shit we've been to the planet.
Yeah,
I fully believe that.
But he didn't get it really bad, so I never remembered it. Like, it was every now and then. But I need a code name for him. What can we call him?
Which one, your brother or boyfriend?
Boyfriend.
Big teeth.
He doesn't have big teeth.
I think he does.
I have big teeth.
Yeah, you do. Just the two front ones.
I
have a buck tooth right now because I've not been wearing my
Just
retainer.
a name that's not his. What was the name I said before? Tom. We'll call him Tom. From here on out, his name is Tom. Because you don't really know a Tom. Tom's not a name. You know a Tom? Girl? I can't lip read. Yeah, but it's not that.
We're not using Tom.
Right, well, what can we use?
Big teeth.
Chad. His name is Chad from here on out because we don't know it. Do you know a Chad? You probably
No,
do know
thankfully
a fucking
I
Chad.
don't.
No.
I probably do.
So anyway, Chad, really bad. Like every morning, antihistamine straight away, and like tablets for it. Otherwise, he will struggle the whole day. And I take for granted just being normal and not suffering with it.
I don't think you're normal. I think you're abnormal. I think you have a certain gene that makes your biology like elite, and you need to reproduce. Did your mum get hay fever?
No.
Okay, so anyway, we've rambled on, but this is another recording of Wise Up. Welcome.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hi, I'm Erin.
I'm Shay, or Shealyn, whatever you want to call me.
Shay. I wish I could have a nickname.
You just dickhead.
People in work have started calling me Eza.
That's awful.
I know, and it's stuck. Do you know what? One of my friends referred to me as that to someone else. It's like a piss take, and now the name's stuck. I'm like,
Eza.
But then it's like, that's still the same amount of letters in my normal name. But like, my name is too short to have a nickname.
Air.
Nah, that's weird as hell.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not being referred to as Air. Hi, I'm Air.
Hi.
She definitely like runs in fields and like really flowy skirts and picks flowers.
You would be such a hater on someone like that. If you seen someone do that, I would be like, good for her. Look at her. Oh my gosh, she's so active, enjoying the world around her. And you would be like, ugh. Black cat energy.
But yeah. I think my relationship is black cat energy and golden retriever energy.
So the last episode was filmed a hot minute ago.
A hot minute.
Loads has happened in the meantime. I've started like a new job. That's been mad. Erin's moved house. Labour are now in government.
Oh my god, can we just discuss that for a sec? Because what the hell?
Look, I'm so excited that it's not the Conservatives.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to leave it at that.
You're really...
I
I've said it once, I'll say it again. You're picking your poison.
100%. I'm so excited to see what the next 10 years brings. Hopefully we'll be able to actually get a mortgage in that time. That would be nice.
A lot of changes.
Or afford rent. Rent would be lovely.
Yeah, like, I just want to afford to live in a place.
You do that?
Yeah, I do, but I mean people in general.
Oh, just in general as a concept of fair housing.
Like it not being a worry.
That would be very lovely to have housing security, yeah.
Because you'd think that wouldn't be a luxury, wouldn't you?
Well, they found a way. So, yeah, last week's episode, we discussed a multitude of things. And a load of shite. We were yapping. We were yapping a lot like a rat.
You are yapping like a rat.
Shanice, your mouth is moving a lot like a rat.
Yappy.
Shut it, please. Thank you, Shanice.
And she just fully takes it because she's like...
I just think if someone said that I was moving like yapping like a rat, I would be like, yeah, work.
I think I'd sit there like Shanice did in a state of shock and be like...
Right, so last week we were yapping a lot. This week we're going to try and get some structure in there, ask each other some questions, kind of get to know each other a little bit more.
Because I think the first one's always like, you're finding your feet, you don't really know what you're doing, and like, it's so easy to just talk shit on a FaceTime call, but when you're sat recording, even though you're literally in a room on your own, it feels different. Because you're like, for me, I'm like, people could listen to this and then I get in my head. So the first one, it's always weird because you're like, oh my god, I feel like you're thinking too much into things. Whereas now I'm like, just chatting complete shit in a different way.
I think it's funny. It's a funny concept when you're like, you can be, like if I didn't have to edit this and we put out our first episode as how it originally was, jail time.
Yeah.
Jail time immediately. I'd never work again.
And everyone would be sat there for about 2.5 hours.
I think in that meantime, like
Shealyn, we've already been recording for 21 minutes and we've actually spoken about nothing.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question.
Okay. Hit me.
Hit me with your best shot.
I was thinking of a completely different Hit Me song. I was thinking, hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me.
What?
We went to two different places there.
What were you trying to sing?
Hit me with your rhythm stick.
What is that song?
You've never... Well, that's literally the only words I know in the song. Let me get it up for anyone who wants to know what it is. I feel like I can't just type in, hit me with your rhythm stick.
You might get some really weird things come up.
It's literally called Hit Me With Your Rhythm Stick by Ian Dury, The Blockheads. Well, I'm guessing that's it. Our minds went to two completely different vibes there.
That's actually really funny.
Anyway, go on then.
Okay, right. I'm hitting you with my rhythm stick. Okay, what was your favourite subject in school?
History.
Really? I thought you were going to say English.
I hated English.
Well,
I don't fucking care why the curtains are blue. They're just blue, you know?
You should push that mic back a wee bit.
But no, all throughout, like, when I started high school, I remember just falling in love with history, and then that made me want to be a history teacher. And then I grew up a bit more, and I was like, I can't be around children as my career. So steered away from that. But I just loved history until... I have to say, until I got to like GCSE year when I started business studies, and I think it was a lot down to my teacher because he was just incredible. But it's just so weird to think like my sister's there now and she's going to be taught by all these people. Business studies I loved and just really excelled in that, and that's when I realised like that was kind of my natural industry. But I loved learning about history. But then I excelled more in when I got to GCSEs and I took on business studies, because do you know the way you didn't do that until like you had to choose that as a GCSE even though you'd never done it before.
Yeah.
And I loved that. So probably history from like first to third year, and then business studies from like GCSEs to A levels.
Oh, nice.
What about you?
Well, I loved history as well, but I didn't take it on for GCSE, because I was hell-bent on like doing medicine. Well, that took a U-turn. And I really loved, obviously, like my art and performing arts, but art, GCSE and A level just takes up your whole life. Like my whole life was just consumed by art, and it still is. And do you know
You're
what?
in the arts.
I am proud of myself. I am getting paid to be an artist, and it's very hard to do. Especially in the industry and the way it is right now through COVID, studying through COVID and then going into the industry, and then a strike happening in the film industry, closing down a lot of work. It's been tough times. Tough times don't last. Only tough people last. But I loved art. But I also I enjoyed English literature because you can absolutely bullshit your way through that.
For sure, because like that is good in a sense, like there's no wrong answer.
Do you remember the poems you would get for your GCSE English literature? And there was a poem, and it was a Seamus Heaney one, I can't remember what it was, but it was about, I think, a hedgehog. And you have to read the poem and basically break it down and talk about the hidden meanings in it and what it all meant, right? Well, I had not a clue, because that was the one thing I really didn't like, that bit of the English literature.
Yeah, breaking every single line down. It's like, every single line does not have to mean something.
Sometimes it's just about a hedgehog.
Sometimes it's just about the hedgehog, okay? All we studied for English literature was Of Mice and Men in 4th year, and then Blood Brothers in 5th year, because we actually went to see the play, Blood Brothers.
Oh. That would have been so nice to see. We didn't get to see it. We had to just watch it.
It was really good, to be fair. We all went to the Opera House in Belfast for like a day trip, and that was good. But I just, obviously, in my school, you had to take on English literature if you were in the top class of English. So you didn't have a choice, which was so annoying. So I had to take it on. I didn't choose to, and I wouldn't have chosen to.
Right.
But I remember for my English GCSEs, do you know the way you've got like, you do it at certain points in the year? It got to the point where I only had one chance to do it in summer, because the first time I was supposed to do the module, I was going on holiday with the fam. The second time then I had the chance to do the module, Granda died. I was like, rude. Very bad timing. So I literally only had the one chance in summer to do the exam. Do you know the way if you fail your modules throughout the year, you can do resets?
Yes.
I had that one chance to get it, because I literally, all my chances had gone, because every time it came up I couldn't do it. And thankfully I'd done pretty well on it anyway. But yeah, that's what I remember about English GCSEs.
Because even though we were the same age, we started off school the same year, and then I had to go to the year below when I was 14, and then it's our first year of GCSE year. I had to repeat a year because I had heart surgery. And I remember reading of Mice and Men in Birmingham's Children's Hospital with they provided like an English tutor for me, and he was this dude from London. He was so lovely. I wish I could remember his name, but I just remember he was reading it to me, and I was like making notes and stuff like that. And it is hard to focus on like your schoolwork when you're in hospital go through heart surgery.
Well, I mean, yeah, that would be a factor.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That would be a little bit of a distraction, but not too much. Like, get your work done, come on.
Yeah, excuse me. But I remember waking up after I had a dye test, but they had to put me to sleep for it and go through the artery in my leg. So I woke up, that makes you feel sick, doesn't it?
Yep.
I'm
so very squeamish. I'm very sickish.
I actually cannot cope with how you're so squeamish. But that doesn't bother me at all, I suppose. Anyway.
When you sent me a few weeks ago a picture of you eating a pepperoni, I had to get Chad to go on my phone and delete the picture from the past so I didn't have to look at it.
I think it's so funny you're actually still like so squeamish, especially about pepperonis. But anyway, I was sat there, I was just kind of waking up and my leg was still really sore, and it'd been like a couple of days, but I was coming, still groggy just from wearing off the anaesthetic. And he came round and he was like, oh yeah, I've had to have a dye test before, and they put me to sleep for it. And I was like, oh, were you older or younger? Like, usually they put you to sleep for it if you're quite young and they need to do something more invasive. And he was like, oh no, they had to do it because I had to be under sedation because I was stabbed. And I was like, oh, okay, different circumstances.
Very different.
Anyway, what is George doing in Of Mice and Men? How's Courtney's wife? Anyway. But yeah, he was like, yeah, no, I was stabbed. And I was like,
well, you were in Birmingham.
No, he grew up in London.
Okay, yeah.
But
well,
yeah.
my point still stands.
And by the time I got to A-levels, I was so done with everything, and I was also like tired, and they got used to me not being there because I was always off sick, so I capitalised on that. Mm-hmm. I was sleeping in, I was the last one in school and the first one out. It would hit like 2 o'clock and I'd be like, yeah, I'm out of here.
I'm feeling really sick right now.
Yeah, but I'm just so tired. Bye. I was driving up to my first ever boyfriend's place where he lived. He was in the army. Oh my god. Do you imagine in Northern Ireland a girl in a Catholic school uniform turns up and goes into a barracks? Because I was 19 when he was like 20, so it made sense. But all of his everyone in his platoon was like, why is your girlfriend in a school uniform, you pedo?
It's really weird.
He was like, no, she's over 18, I swear.
She is not a minor.
She is not a minor, I swear.
Also, you were driving, so like they must have known you were at least 17.
At least. That's still not good.
But it's just so weird to think that you were with him when you were in school.
I know, because he couldn't come to my last formal because he was in the army and we're in a Catholic school, so he couldn't take me to my formal.
That's really tragic, actually.
No, I had a great time.
I went to all my formals alone. Well, not alone, with friends.
Yeah, I went with friends. I didn't,
my date for one formal, like, cancelled last minute, was like, oh, I'm just going to go with my friends. And I was like, well, fuck you, I'll go with my friends too. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, so now you can lip read.
Yeah, and I was like, well,
of course it was him. Too. What a dick. He was actually, every time if I see him, I actually cringe because I'm like, you're just a nasty man. He might be a lovely person now, but I don't know.
Listen, we've all grown up, we're all adults now. We were children back then.
No, he was still a dick.
Do I sound really sick? Because I feel like my nose is blocking up.
Is it hay fever? Plot twist of the century. Where do you want to be in 5 years from now?
Oh, I hate questions like this. I want to be touring on the podcast. That's where I want to be in 5 years.
She is a woman in STEM.
Can we not think about that because we're thinking about when we're 30? Can we just let that sink in? You'll be nearly 31.
Erin, Would you stop saying that? In the last episode as well, you were like, oh yeah, you're 26, you're practically 30, and now you're saying I'm going to be 31!
In 5 years, we'll be 30. I'd like to think in 5 years, I'll be at least engaged.
That man would marry you tomorrow if you said to him. In fact, he would just like, it's you do it, and then you see Superman change. He would like change straight into a tux, and he'd be like, oh, that's your family's here already.
We're actually getting married today.
Yeah, we're getting married today. I just forgot to tell you. Because he definitely would forget to tell you.
Yeah, at least engaged, if not married.
I am nowhere near that. Erin, I had to walk out of a date the other day.
I can't believe I didn't even know this date was happening.
Erin, life has been so crazy. I just haven't even communicated with anyone. My best friend, I've talked to her like twice this week.
So talk me and everyone listening through the date and the process of getting to the date stage.
I just kind of was like in two minds about it, but I was like, do you know what? He seems like a nice man. It was on Bumble. He seems like a nice man. You know, he has a really nice job, which is caring. Like he was a vet, so he was like caring, and he seemed like interested in actually dating. So I was like, okay, let's go for it. Like he literally, as soon as we started messaging, he was like, oh, let's meet for a coffee or something. So I got ready on the Sunday. I was really tired just after work and all that stuff, but I was like, no, I'll force myself to do it.
And we like a man who takes action. It's like, let's not talk for weeks. Like, we've spoken for a few days, let's go on a date. We love that.
Yeah, whereas the last guy I talked to for like weeks, and I really, really liked him. Just getting, or like the idea of him anyway, getting close to the date actually come to fruition just was not good.
They're just keyboard warriors.
They literally are. They're wanting literary validation and not human connection. Anyway, so I look really nice. I'm wearing really cute trousers with nice trainers and a lovely top from Zara and a blazer.
Slay.
Yeah, it's like a go-to outfit. And we booked for this really nice brunch place, grab a wee bite to eat. I was running late because I'm always late to things, but I let him know, because life's been so busy, I needed petrol, and so I texted him, I was like, look, I'm going to be 15 minutes late, I'm really sorry. I have to stop off for petrol. I didn't hear anything from him for like an hour and a half before the date.
Oh,
like,
okay.
We were talking beforehand, but then like radio silence. And I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to go ahead, see what the crack is.
Yeah, maybe he's getting ready. Maybe he's on his way.
Driving in or something like that. I don't know. And so drove up to Belfast, parked the car. I got to the place and I still hadn't heard from him, so I rang him and he was like, oh yeah, I'm just parking my car now. So first of all I was like, so you were going to be even later than I was, but you weren't going to tell me?
That's a very bad first impression.
So I was like, okay, right. And then so I grabbed the table and I said to him, I was like, I'm getting a drink, do you want one? And he was like, no, it's fine, I'll get my own. And I was like, okay, that's fine, no bother. So I just got like a wee soda water and lime because I was driving. I'm a good gal. And he arrived and he was wearing like a real, like, and you shouldn't judge people on how they present themselves.
No, I think this is a justifiable judge because this is a first date. This is first impressions. This is what you come to for like social gatherings and as someone you're trying to impress, essentially.
Yeah, like if you want to impress someone, but then also like how you present yourself on a date, that is the equivalent of how you would present yourself. If it was successful and say later on down the line, you know, we were dating, got in a relationship or whatever, blah, 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 I don't want to have to dress a film like a grown man for a social situation. Oh, we're meeting my parents for the first time and he turns up how he was dressed at the first date, I'd be livid. He was wearing a tracksuit in a really nice brunch area. Now there were girls there drinking, wearing heels, there was guys with nice shirts on, like blah blah blah. He was wearing a tracksuit, not even a matching tracksuit, and he had shit trainers on too. But it was like they were grubber trainers. It wasn't like they were. Do you know what I mean? And I said to I just was like immediately I was about as attracted to him as I was my soda water. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't the vibe, and he was asking so many questions, but it was more like a job interview. And I was like, okay, just give him a chance, see how it goes, because you know me, I'd like to give people a chance.
Yes, you do. You're very, very
and it's
open.
very rare on a first impression my gut will go no.
Yeah, because you've definitely stayed on a lot of other dates you shouldn't have.
100%.
So if you leave a date, like, there is a very valid reason.
And I just said to myself, I was like, I'm not enjoying being here. And it's one of those things where usually I'm the type of person to then compromise my time for the benefit of someone else's.
But I think you also are like, in a way,
just
you're like,
getting older
look,
and I'm
I've
like,
made,
just-
like, we're usually, you're like, you know, I've got myself ready and I've come here. Let's just make the best of a bad situation. Let's try and make it as fun as we can. But in that instance, you had to be like, I can't even stick this out.
I can't see myself, like, if I was to do that, if I was to try and make the best out of a situation, I would have had to have got drunk. And I was driving, and I couldn't do that.
Yeah, a couple of drinks would have made it much easier, probably. But also, it's like, why are you interrogating me?
Yeah, it's just like casual conversation. But obviously, no, the questions he was asking were like good questions. He was a lovely man. I just could not.
She couldn't see past the tracksuit, folks.
Not even that. I just was not getting the vibe. I just was not the vibe. So I was like, right, who do I know that's in Belfast right now and is available? And so the person I can know is someone I'm working with. And I texted him and I was like, either come get me, like run into me, or ring me and say something's wrong. So she rang me and she was like, I've been in a car accident. And I was like, oh, okay, we're going with this one. Yep. Okay.
So, like,
anyway.
how did you react when she was on the phone? How did you, like, play it off? Were you like, oh my god, what's happened?
No, I'm a National Youth Theatre, darling. I'm actually really talented. I was like, wait, sorry, say that again? You're where? Okay, where are you? And I started asking, like, the questions of, well, are you safe? Is anyone hurt? You know, if you go straight in with the hysterics, then it's very overperformative.
Yeah.
But in a genuine situation like that, you would like to think you would ask the appropriate questions about safety, where you are, you know, is someone on to get away to get the car? Is anyone hurt? Do you need me to get anything before I pick you up? Like that sort of thing. So, yeah, I did. And I did feel bad about it. I felt really guilty on the way home, but I would rather sit on the sofa with my dog than waste time with someone I know.
What did he say when you told him you had to leave?
Okay, he was like, well, do you know it's an emergency? That's fine. I felt really bad. I felt bad. Like, I should have just been able to be like, this isn't going anywhere. That would have been the more appropriate upfront thing to do. I just didn't have it in me.
Yeah, I mean, you were trying to spare the guy's feelings. It's understandable. It would take a lot for someone to be like, I don't like you, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Like, that is harsh.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't know. But anyway, he walked me to my car because he was also parked at the same car park. And then I got into my car and I kind of just did like a kind of breathe out, spend like 5 minutes. And then I was driving out of the car park and I seen him. I drove by him. So when I was driving by him, I had to pretend that I was like, oh, really flustered. And but he didn't really notice because he couldn't find his car. He was couldn't find where he parked his car. And I was like, oh, brother.
You
so
really,
sorry.
like, were committed to the cause. You thought, I need to act dishevelled and flustered here.
Yeah, I was absolutely like, this is my purpose, this is my motivation. But yeah, no, dating for me, it's not going successful right now. We did establish that, like, in the last episode, but that's the most recent update, and I'm kind of just, like, honestly, I'm really, contemplating going back to the hoe days.
Really?
It's just easier. It's just
Less
easier.
maintenance.
It's less maintenance. I just don't have time for people's feelings right now.
Yeah.
I've just noticed that. But I'm also trying to say no to that. I'm in two minds.
You're battling with the little angel on one shoulder and the little devil on the other.
If you could invite one famous person to dinner, who would it be?
Lewis Hamilton.
See, a lot of people don't know this about Erin, is that she is an F1 girly. And she likes it, not because she's a pick-me, not because her boyfriend's into it. She genuinely likes the sport.
That's who I would have. He, a couple of weeks ago, it was Silverstone, right? Now, it's been about 3 years since Lewis has won a race. Bearing in mind, we're talking about a 7-time world champion here. Should have been 8, but we're not going to discuss that because I will get upset. And it was on a Sunday, because races are always on a Sunday. And Chad and I had planned to go for Nando's afterwards. But, so 3 years since he's won a race, he won Silverstone. I was sobbing. Like, I was not okay. Crying so much, I'm like, a sport has never resulted to me in tears before. Like, tears of happiness, obviously. And I had to literally,
It's just
like...
cars going around in circles.
It's so... Well, football's just people kicking a ball.
Yeah, I don't like football though. I like rugby though.
Rugby's just people
Battering each other.
jumping on each other.
Giving each other piggybacks.
So it's just so... The adrenaline and it's just... So I would invite Lewis Hamilton to dinner because
He deserves
I love
it.
him.
He
Yeah.
deserves a home-cooked meal.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be way too much pressure though because he's a vegan.
Oh, that... I've learned so much about Lewis Hamilton more than I've ever have in the rest of my life.
His dog's vegan as well.
I don't think that's normal.
Roscoe.
I don't think a dog should be vegan.
Roscoe has about 1 million followers on Instagram, I'm pretty sure.
Let me see. Let me see. I also love the fact that the 7 times world champion.
Mm-hmm. He has 1.1 million followers, his dog. I have 300.
In 5 years' time, you will have more followers than Roscoe the dog.
I hope so. When our podcast absolutely blows up and everyone is following us, I will have more followers than Roscoe.
Roscoe loves Coco. Well, he's 1.1 million followers.
Mm-hmm.
He's a vegan bulldog that loves to travel, play ball, and get attention from all the girls, especially when they rub my bum.
He goes to he's flown private jet to all the races with Lewis. This dog is living a life.
Can I be Roscoe?
I think a lot of people want to be Roscoe.
I'd be vegan.
I think,
if I could be Roscoe.
I'm pretty sure, Lewis rescued him, and everyone was like, what made you pick him? And Lewis was like, I just seen him, and it was just like, this is my dog.
But it's also, they say that dogs pick you, you don't pick the dogs.
Yeah. They say that about cats as well, like, cats pick you.
I believe that more so about cats than about dogs, because dogs can just love someone.
Yeah, where cats, if a cat chooses to love you, you've actually made it.
Yeah.
Because a cat can just choose not to love you, whereas a dog, if you give a dog attention and food and treats, it'll be like, okay, I love you. But a cat is like, bitch, you expect me to just bow down to this? I don't think so. He's ending his career with Mercedes. He's moving to Ferrari next season.
Is that controversial?
I mean, everyone wants to be at Ferrari. Do you know what I mean? Like Ferrari, when you think of F1, you think of Ferrari. Like the history of it and stuff. So it's the natural move for him because that's probably where he wants to end his career. But because I just fell in love with him so much at Mercedes, I've got so much merchandise. I was upset at the start because I was like, oh, I'm never going to see him race for Mercedes, if I ever go. But, so I was so salty for a while. It was mad. And I was like, I'm boycotting the sport. I don't like this anymore. I am not moving to being a Ferrari fan. I love Mercedes too much. But then, because the reaction I had to him winning and being reduced to tears, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I do still love him.
Wait, so is moving to Ferrari like how a player moves to a football club?
Yeah.
Right, so someone would pick their favourite car and be like, or the favourite brand of car and be like, this is my club, I love my club.
The thing is, every single team will do anything in the world to have Lewis Hamilton on their team. So I think...
He's getting paid.
I think and he's the highest paying athlete in the world.
No way.
So I think the package Ferrari were offering was just better than Mercedes, so it makes sense the move, and everyone wants to have a shot at Ferrari, but it was... Tough pill to swallow,
but $300 million. And he was the highest paid in 2023 with $55 million in a salary of a year. That's extortionate. That is madness. And
he lives in Monaco. So many of the drivers live in Monaco because obviously there's no taxes and stuff. One of the drivers, Charles Leclerc, who will be his teammate next year, is actually from Monaco. He's the only driver from Monaco. But so many of them live there.
Is Charles Leclerc not the one that sings Smooth Operator?
No, that's Carlos Sainz, who you like. You sent me a picture of Carlos Sainz and said, I can see why you like F1. That was Carlos Sainz, who will not be at Ferrari next year. We don't know where he's going yet. There is speculation it's going to be Williams, but I don't know. I don't think that'd be a good move, but we'll see.
You literally could have said that man's going to space, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah. I have no clue about any of it. Yeah, he's stunning though.
Yeah, a lot of them are. I did love Charles Leclerc for a while. Not that I still don't, but he's not my crush.
Lewis Hamilton's your crush?
No, I love Lewis Hamilton in a different way. I don't crush on Lewis Hamilton, I just love him. Right now I'm crushing on Lando Norris, who drives for McLaren.
Lando who?
Norris,
British Belgian.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, he's a wee cutie.
But the last few seasons, he's changed. Like, he's grown up. He's becoming a man. I think he's like our age.
So he's 25. I wonder what his net worth is.
The youngest driver who just won the Grand Prix last week is 22. Oscar Piastri, who's his teammate.
Lando Norris was worth £10 million in 2022. It could have increased as high as 30 million. This man's our age.
Oscar Piastri, his teammate's younger. He's like 22, 23.
That's mad. What about, is there not like a footballer playing for Spain now and he's literally 17?
Yeah, I think we watched the Euros final and I'm pretty sure there was a dead young player.
Yeah.
But I digress a lot because I could talk about this forever. I'm actually going to the F1 experience in London in a couple of weeks.
What is the F1 experience?
I don't actually know what's there. I've tried not to Google it because I want to be like surprised and see what they have. But
I'm going to Google it.
And the day before I'm going to the Friends experience.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Mm-hmm. Chad's not a Friends fan though, so it's all going to be lost on him.
Oh, how can you not be a Friends fan?
I know, that's really sus, innit? I don't trust people who don't like Friends.
I quote Friends all the time.
Friends is just relevant to anything.
But watching it as I get older, Ross is such a toxic man.
Yeah, he is. He's the funniest character though.
He is funny, like his breakdowns are hilarious.
He is like the funniest where he like Chandler's got his sarcasm, Joey's got like his ditziness. Yeah. But like Ross is funny when he's not trying to be necessarily.
Sorry.
And he is just funny because of the way he is. What are you doing, ruffling around there?
Yeah, I'm ruffling around because I'm filming on the spare bed. So I'm just trying to get comfy.
But I digressed a lot. The answer is I would invite Lewis Hamilton to have dinner.
I forgot that was the question.
That was the question about 10 minutes ago. I could talk about this all day, that's the thing. But who would you invite to dinner?
Right, I'm actually not going to talk about me for now. I'm going to talk about my best friend's mix of characters or people that she would invite to dinner. I think she's got it down to the perfect mix.
Okay.
So she talks about it in depth, and I think it's fucking brilliant. So she would invite Jesus.
Okay.
Lisa Vanderpump. And John Fury.
I know who Jesus is.
Fan of his work.
Fan of his work.
Fan of his work.
Bear with, and I'm going to Google the other two.
Lisa Vanderpump was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or whatever it was.
That is quite the mix of people.
She loves Real Housewives, so I understand
and
that.
John Fury.
And John Fury. He's the pure really dav Tyson Fury.
Oh. And what's the story here? What's the reason?
John Fury is actually pure nuts. I'm going to send you videos of him later on. Like, when Tommy Fury was going to fight, was it Jake Paul or something?
Yeah.
Or one of them, or Tyson Fury, I don't know. One of them won something. And John Fury basically stood up, ripped his shirt off, and then grabbed his balls and was like, "They came from the balls. They came from my balls." Like, he's pure really. He went to prison for gouging out his cousin's eye.
I'm confused as to where Lisa Vanderpump comes in.
She loves Lisa Vanderpump. Everything to do with Lisa Vanderpump. And she's obsessed with dogs, and she's so glamorous as a woman. She also, on Real Housewives, she's like the English one, so she kind of has like that UK humour, and then also just kind of tells it as it is. According to her, I don't really watch Housewives.
Do you know what? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for that dinner.
Fly on the wall! I'd fight someone to get at the seat at that table. But who would I want? Do you know what? I think I would love to have just a random person from somewhere in my ancestry. Like, could you imagine, like, one of our ancestors, like Granny's great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, pure digging up the bogs in Ireland, and then all of a sudden they're at dinner, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm your ancestor." They'd be like, "I'm your descendant." They'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
They'd be absolutely horrified we're doing this. Women talking?
Yeah, like, imagine talking to them about what life is like today. They'd probably pass away.
In my head, they're dead and they've come back for a dinner.
And they're passing away for a second time then. They're like, "I've had enough, get me back in
Get
that
me back,
coffin.
please. Let me go back." Oh, I also didn't answer where I thought I would be in 5 years from now. You know, I'll actually say I really don't know. I have very short vision of where I want to be. Like, I would obviously like to be in my own home. That's kind of my goal, is just to own a home and be in it. That kind of stability is nice. But I really have no idea about what it is, like, where I'll be. You know, some people can be like, yeah, I'll be engaged, I'll have this, I'll have my dog, I'll have this, and I'll do that, and I'll blah, blah, blah. Not to get, like, too deep. But honestly, I've really struggled to envision my future ever since graduating uni, because that was always my goal. Like, going through all those heart surgeries, going through all that those times, like, growing up, it was always just a goal just to get to uni, graduate from uni.
Yeah.
And then after that, pardon?
I resonate with that. It was like, because it's like your whole life is leading to uni, but no one says, okay, but what after? Because it's like, well, no, the goal is uni.
No, the goal is uni. Like,
there's no life after uni. It's just uni.
Yeah. Then you to join adulthood.
Mm-hmm. But as well, I think it's hard for you to envision it because your job could take you anywhere.
That's true.
So it's hard to be like, I'm going to be here, because you can't pinpoint anything, because you could get a call in a month's time and be like, oh my god, we're shitting in Paris, can you come out? And you're like, yeah. So that probably plays into it, because you physically just don't know what the next thing is and where it's going to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Could you see yourself still doing this?
Yeah, definitely. I think I would like to be in a position where I have a side business of, like, providing assets for productions like wigs and stuff like that, as well as then doing the filming. But I also want to prioritise life outside of that, because work isn't the be all end all. Mm-hmm. I think it's very easy to think that, especially in, like, the industry I work in, where there's work, when it comes up like a contract job, it's like, oh yes, sweet, I've got income for 4 months, and then you're back to dailies or you whatever. So there isn't that security that most people do have in, like, a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And it is demanding long hours, but so it's very easy to let that consume your life and be your only goal about where you worked, who you last worked with. And I always find this strange. I remember in uni, one of my tutors said, you're only as good as your last job. And I was like, well, that's a bit shit to say, isn't it? I think you can be as good as you're only as good as your values and your morals and your behaviours allow you to be.
Yeah, I think, like, you're only as good as the things you do and the things you accomplish, and, like...
And that doesn't always have to be work. You can accomplish really cool things, like, outside of work, like, look at our charity, like Bravehearts, you know?
Because your last job could have been hell and awful, and, like, you can't measure up someone because of the job they've just had, like, that's...
Yeah, or if you say, like, you've put 6 months of your life, like, grueling hours, working weekends as well, for a TV show that gets a shit score on Rotten Tomatoes. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
I think, instead of thinking about where I'll end up, think about those things I want to do in my personal life outside of work in those 5 years. I think that's a better way to go about the goal. Rework the structure.
Yeah, because too many things can change.
Yeah. And then also, like, if you create a plan, like, I remember when I was younger thinking by 25 I'd be married.
Yeah,
have my own house and stuff like that with kids.
Yeah.
Like, time changes and so much stuff happens in the world that different paths take place. There's no way on earth I thought I would still be based at home and travelling about for work. No way on earth. But I love it.
I'm really excited for you to come over for the races now.
I'm really excited to go over, because
we'll get, like... What were you going to say?
I said, because we'll get, like, nice dresses.
We can get fully dressed up.
Yeah, which also means I'd have to put in a shift doing your hair.
Yeah.
When you said that, you were like, oh, it means I get to look nice. And I was like...
Even just a nice curl.
Nice?
Like, I hate... I love doing my own makeup. I hate doing my hair.
I love doing hair.
It always
comes out shit. Hair a lot.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to think you like doing hair. It's literally your job.
Yeah.
But I just hate doing my hair. It stresses me out, the thought of it. I never know what to do with it. And then it always looks shit. And that just pisses me off.
Yeah.
But that'll be really exciting.
That will be really exciting. And it'd just be nice to be able to... And hopefully before then I'll get over for a weekend to see your new house, but
well, to be fair, before then, like, in a few weeks I'm on call for a week, which includes a weekend. The weekend after that we're down in London, and then 2 weeks after that we go on holiday, and then the week after that I'm on call again.
Yeah.
The holiday's like 38 days. Ooh. All paid off now.
I booked another holiday to Greece for next year.
I remember you saying.
Yeah. I was like, as soon as I booked it, I was like, oh shit, I'm not going to save enough from this job then. Tax rebate came in, covered it.
Lovely.
Ooh, child. I'm telling you, I just was like, oh, amazing. I can book another one now.
Nice.
Because my brother's getting married in Greece next year, and then me and my sister and a couple of our Erin and I's cousins are going to go to Greece. Do you think you'll book onto it? No?
Only because we're planning a holiday with Dad. Dad, stepmom and brothers, getting a villa somewhere. And then we're going to try and go to a Grand Prix as like a holiday for us. So there's already like stuff in the works, and I just don't know when the holiday with Dad's going to be.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I just don't want to commit to it when I just don't know when it is. And, like, if things change, I can always book on. It's not the end of the world, but it's just, yeah, unlikely.
We need to book a weekend away somewhere. That can be our next priority. This recording has felt more like a FaceTime for us.
Yeah, this has been, I think this has been a really good episode.
Really? I'm thinking, oh god, will it be shit?
Oh yeah, no, I think that about our first one.
Our first one's just pure manic.
It is very manic, but everyone's is going to be, and like, you can...
I was thinking getting Granny on.
Wow.
I would have to do a lot of editing on it, like.
Yeah.
Because that woman can say the most crazy, unhinged shit. So can we all, but... You know, her life as a 25-year-old compared to our lives.
And some words of wisdom for people growing up.
Her life with Granda, I mean, God knows what she'd say about that.
I think she'd end up getting in front of a microphone and not saying much. I feel like she'd be really different.
She might be. You have no idea how someone would react. Oh, what song have you had stuck in your head this week?
Stuck in my head? I mean, not as much stuck in my head. My favourite song at the minute is Charlie XCX Apple. That's like on repeat for me at the minute from her new album.
I've listened to like her new album.
It's so good, and like see that on full. I had that on full blast on the Alexa earlier along cleaning, and it was just so good.
Mine's has been Why You So Obsessed With Me.
Has it?
Because it was playing in work, and then also it's like on TikTok all the time.
You're delusional. Yeah, that's actually a banger.
It is a good song.
Mariah Carey songs are a banger. Like even her.
Is that Mariah Carey?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
You're delusional. Oh my gosh. Yes, Mariah. I honestly only ever associate Mariah Carey with Christmas.
With Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
And her song, Touch My Body. That's a good
one. That is... I'm learning so much today.
Yeah, that's Mariah Carey as well.
I had no idea.
She ain't just a Christmas lady.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Mariah Carey does it all.
She does. And her songs are bangers.
I've been yapping a lot like a rat. Yap.
Well, do you want to close us off then?
Yeah, of course I do. Okay, so this week was a lot more of a chill week. But, stick along with us for more antics. Going forward, we'll have a lot more topics to discuss, things to explore in our attempt to wise up.
Still very much not wised up yet. But
yeah, no, the wisen up has not wised up.
No.
But please send us any suggestions or questions you have. If you want to send us any dilemmas that you're facing, now that you're entering the scary stages of adulthood, of which we are both not qualified to answer or give advice on, get in contact with us at wiseuppodcast_ on Instagram, or email us at wiseuppodcast@outlook.com. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
It's been emotional.
Oh my god, that guy that works in locations has just texted me.